preach but reach, and not just the lost, but those who are hidden from themselves, not just lost, not just held bound, but those who are living and are bound to blindness to their own identity. We must release brilliance. We must be people of brilliance, not just gold-colored pictures at the altar, not having gold pulpits, and we call that excellence. No, 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 no. We should be masters of time. We should be controllers of time and understanding. We should not be casual, because the kingdom is an expensive find. And when you discover something expensive, it makes your behavior expensive. When you discover something that's casual, your behavior is casual. All of the depth of our attitude is based on what we found in our heart. If you found something incredible in your heart, it will reflect itself through your personality. If you found something cheap, it's going to show through your personality and how you move towards things. I didn't find nothing cheap, guys. I found something very expensive. Now, you could drive a car with one wheel, but if you discover something expensive, everybody forget they will not see the other three wheels that are missing on your car. When you discover something expensive in your consciousness, people will be so drawn. What's going on, Brian and Dana? People will become so drawn to what you discovered that they will forget that your car only have one wheel. I know that to be true. Now, my car has all four tires on. Before, it used to have like three and one tire. It used to a long time ago. It had like one tire. And that wasn't even my tire. I took that off of Bridget's car. It was one time my car only had one tire, and I took it off of Bridget's. But you understand, and she had three tires, and I had two. All right, but you got the gist of what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about? Witty, smart, astute. And before I get off this call, how many of you are astute? Which means I accurately assess rhythms in people, and I know how to work it for my purpose. Jesus commended them because we're afraid to talk. We are so shielded in ourselves that if people look at us funny, there's a scandal. If you talk to someone, what I saying, brother? But if I tell you, you need to be at this time, you really don't value this, don't you? You really don't think, I don't like what you're saying. It's because you found something very cheap. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about, guys. Intelligence. Intelligence. When you discover something expensive, you've discovered intelligence. You've discovered something great and prosperous. And it's just not Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. No, no, no. You've discovered something in you and the atmosphere. And you are not afraid of the world. You are not afraid of life. You are not afraid of what's out there. You know how to master what's out there. That's what's going to keep you alive. You know how to master what's out there. You're not just so heavenly and churchy. You understand what's out there. You know how to go out there and get it. And sometimes the children of the light feel you're going to lose your Christianity or your spirituality if you do it. No, I've already lost it. I've gained my kingdom. Yeah, I've already lost my religion. I've gained the kingdom. Know how to talk to anybody. And they don't have to be saved for you to know how to talk to. You understand? You have to be astute. You have to be discerning. You have to be, and not just to tell them about God, but to create something. Don't be afraid to create something. Don't be afraid to create something brilliant that will take care of your life. Don't be afraid of it. Intelligence, guys. Let me hear you say it before I go. Intelligence. And I know some of you just not getting on here. So just just rewind it when I'm off and just check it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. He said, be astute, be witty, be clever. Jesus commended us. Look, Jesus wants you to be clever. He wants you to be creative. He wants you to be witty. He wants you to have an understanding. He wants you to say, go on out there and make it happen. Talk. Go ahead and talk. go ahead and talk. He wants you to be persuasive. Let me hear you say it. Jesus wants me to be persuasive. He wants you to be able to talk to the point that people are totally convinced and they're like, wow. He wants you to wow them with your intelligence. Go get them. He said the world is doing that to you, to the point we walk with God and we have worldly heroes. That's how well the world has conquered most of us. Most of our heroes are not even kingdom followers. When you begin to talk to some of us who are believers, our favorite entertainers are people who don't even follow the kingdom. But we say, that's what I like, because they've wowed you with their commitment and with their power. They've wowed you with their brilliance. They've wowed you with their fearlessness. They've wowed you to the point that some of the people we admire are worldly people, worldly actors, worldly authors, worldly entertainers. And then we look at our entertainers and we're like, okay, all right. But we give money to people who don't even follow the kingdom, and we make them rich. We make them rich and we watch them. And then we defend our spirituality because we have worldly heroes. Now it's time for people who don't even follow the Christ mind to look at us and say, that's my hero. Fizer is my hero. That guy who writes those books, that guy who talks like, that's my hero. Audrey is my hero. Dana is my hero. Yvette is my hero. It's time for people who don't even follow this to look at you and say, wow, what kind of technology is that? Raise your hand. And I'm not talking about God should be their hero. See, that's what Jesus is talking about. He's not, no. He said people will glorify God through your good works. They're going to talk about you well and glorify God. How many, I want to say this before I go. Has the world glorified God because of you? Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. So be smart and be intelligent. Be witty, be discerning, have an answer for everything. And don't worry about people who are upset at you because it seems like you know everything. You're supposed to know everything that you observe. If I observe it, I know it. I know everything that I observe. If I observe it and watch it, I know it. So Jesus is telling you to watch it. So he say observe. Observe everything. Just don't live in the world. Observe it. Don't just observe the violence. Observe everything. Observe everything that you're attracted to. And you will have an answer for everything. He said be that way. The Christ consciousness says be that way. He said because the world is shrewd. They know everything and we don't. We don't know it. We're afraid of it. We're afraid of people who talk brilliant. We say, who are you trying to be? It's like we accept people as Christians if they embrace the devil and heaven and hell. But once you transcend the devil and you begin to move into a different dimension, do you know God? We accept people as godly if we embrace sin, destruction, and poverty and slavery. But when you say, I am the image of God and I am the brilliance of God, it's like, oh, wait a minute, you done got beside yourself. It's like we accept people as believers if they embrace poverty. You could have some money in the bank, just don't have no sense in your mind. And we'll celebrate that. You could have a new car every year, but just don't have no new flow in your brain. No. It's time for people, athletes and entertainers and everyone to look at you and say, wait a minute, that's my hero. I want to talk to that guy. I need to talk to that Fizer guy. I need to talk to that Brian guy. I need to talk to Yvette. I need to talk to that Alfred guy. I need to talk. Where were you at? I was speaking to him. This is my teacher named Alfred Garrett. I just sit with him. You go to church? No, but Alfred just comes to my house and he breaks these things down to me. See, that's what we need. That's the new church flow. It's not just the Sunday gathering, but when God raises up us apostles and prophets and all whoever we are, when he raises us up and puts us in some incredible situations where we don't meet them on Sunday, but we're probably sitting with them at Starbucks or at their mansion or at their office, and we're sitting down, breaking stuff down to them. And they say, thank you. And they're not in a congregation, so the television could do a photo op with that entertainer in your presence, but they're with you. They trust you. They follow you to the point they trust you, and they want you to elevate them. Everybody say elevate. Jesus said they're shrewd. They know what to do. We don't know what to do. We're afraid of it. We're afraid of attitudes. We're afraid of voices. We're afraid of cussing. We're afraid of people cuss. They cuss. I don't want to be. You're scared because they cussing. It's like, no. He said, don't worry about the cussing. Assess the situation. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go because I know y'all are busy. But that's intelligence. He said the children of light, we need to be intelligent. We need to be brilliant. We don't need to look churchy. We don't need to look like we're going to Sunday school. He said, but I want brilliance. I want some apps to come out. Come up with some apps. Come up with some technology. Come up with something. Come up with something. I want a brilliance. Stop. Don't just do prayer breakfasts, but do a different kind of luncheon where you begin to bring out excellence. Come up with some new designs. I want you at the Allen Center. I want you at the Omni. I want you right here. I want them to see your brilliance. I want them to see that you know what to do, that you know how to do more than read the Bible and quote the books. And I want them to see your designs. I want them to see you build. I want them to see I want you in a situation where they don't know what to call you. They like, are you a pastor or what? What are you? I know it has something to do with God, but you want to blow them away. Jesus said the world just blows us away. Come on. Come on. Be intelligent. Don't be afraid. Be intelligent. This is the new intelligence that I'm talking about, the divine intelligence. Now, see, that's the saving of the soul. It's not just getting them at the altar, but it's saving them from their fear of using their own mind. The soul. How do I save my soul? You remove it from the devil of ignorance, not just Satan, but you remove it from the fear of becoming. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, guys. He said they're shrewd. When I was young, I used to think the word shrewd was a bad word. It sounded like a cuss word. When you're 9 years old and you hear the children are shrewd, you're like, ooh, that's a bad word. Oh, really, that's a good word. Astute. Clever. Witty. Intelligent. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh my God. Be brilliant, guys.